Hello, and welcome back to the Psych Legal Pop podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm Tess Brigham. I'm the therapist.
And I'm Brooke Brigham. I'm the attorney.
And we are back with Seeking Sister Wife Season 6. My God, they found 6 years of people to do this show. Episode 1, You're No Longer in Brazil, Dorothy. And can I just say that when the episode started, I was like, how in God's name are you going to keep finding people like this? Like, there can't be this many unaware crazy people out there. But yet they find like gold. I mean, I think there's some real gold in here.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I also wonder, okay, are these people who are doing this just to get on the show? But the people this season, at least who we've met so far, seem to have kind of a history of this, or at least thinking about, I don't know.
Yeah, there's been some past experiences.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if the producers are maybe trolling some kind of like poly app.
Yeah, people who are on
the
poly, exactly. Because I think that, because if you're willing to be poly, then sister wives is even less out there, in the sense that it seems to have a little more
structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's not always clear,
it's not
to
always
people.
clear. It's really I'm perplexed. I'm just just old. Like I don't really understand a lot of this.
Yeah,
And I think a lot of it is abusive too. That, like, the stuff with Garrick and Danielle.
Oh God.
Is
Oh
straight
God. We'll
up
get into that.
abusive.
Well, and the other thing too is I feel like the motivations, I'm like, you just want a friend for while your husband travels. Like,
You want a
that's an easy,
babysitter? You want a
that's an easy,
surrogate?
yeah.
Literally.
And yeah, that's everyone
this
has,
family
there's
wants
some
a
sort of
surrogate.
agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And there is a little bit of this, I guess let's just jump right in.
Let's just start.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's start. We're going to start with the Williamson family. And this is Reese and Billie Jean from New Ross, Indiana. So I don't know how big New Ross is.
Well, I looked it up.
Oh, okay.
Now, again, this is one of these places where, I don't know. See, in California, we have like cities. So so it's hard to, I feel like in a lot of other states, there'll be like this one area that's sort of like the hub, but then it encompasses all these other areas. I don't really understand. I don't understand this, because the population is 312. Okay.
It could
Now,
be.
how do you exist with 312 people? They have one post office, they have one bank, they have a steakhouse and a grain facility.
Yeah.
I think most of the people work at the grain facility.
But what's the closest big city?
Well, I think it's a couple hours outside of Indianapolis.
Okay. So there has to be some other larger town nearby. There's got to be within 20 to 30 minutes. But listen, this is how a lot of people, it's not how a lot of people live. I mean, people are out, in these really small towns. Like that town from Unknown Number, same thing. It was this tiny town, and it's a little bit like
400 people.
Yeah, I mean, when their kids are ready for high school, I'm sure they have to drive the kid like 30 miles away.
Because the population of the high school was 700. So clearly, people are driving. Can you imagine having to drive like an hour each way to a public high school? I mean, I think
maybe there's a bus.
Lot of people, this is why a lot of people end up homeschooling their kids. It's like,
I'm
not going to be doing this every day.
Yeah.
So,
but
it's a very small town.
But, Reese really bursts onto the scene.
Yes. All of a sudden, we're treated to the Pirates of Penzance.
Yes. And I would just like to say, I wouldn't know any of those words, but Reese sure does.
Oh, Reese.
The first thing I wrote down is, this guy likes to be center stage. It's the first thing I thought. And then I was like, oh, of course you were in plays and show choir.
That's very specific. Yes.
All that kind of stuff. I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
so
like
did
you
they
you don't mind a
Oh, go
camera
ahead.
crew in the shower with you.
No, he's fine with it. This
Yeah.
Reese, honestly is in his element. He's doing bits at the Mexican restaurant,
Oh
you
god,
know?
they were doing bits with the chickens, that was driving me
Yeah,
crazy. He is yeah, I could see Reese because I don't think Reese really wants I mean, I don't know how much Reese wants Billie Jean. I don't know
I
what's going
don't
on here with
I don't
Reese.
know. Well,
Um,
it's like they've known each other. They met in middle school, and
yeah,
they were in
because they
they
did
were
a
in show choir together. But then they reconnected later, um, and then they got married.
yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know what to say. I mean, the school play, right? What I mean, he was like the star and she was backstage. I mean, that
Yeah,
tells
she's
you a
like the
lot about
tech.
their
Yeah, the
personalities.
yeah the person who helps you change your costume in between scenes and
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
But that whole
Um,
thing with them and the chickens in the kitchen and then,
oh, that was gross.
and it was
I'm
just like
sorry.
fun. I wrote down fun with chickens. I mean, it just and then this whole thing of like, "Oh no, the chickens are loose. The chickens are loose." I'm like, and then we have to go get them and put them back in. And I love the chickens. I hate the chickens. I blah blah blah. And I'm like, you know what? Lots of people have chickens. You're not. You're still basic. I mean, you're
Hmm.
not special. What the what? Just the way they were
Yeah.
acting about these chickens. And I guess I mean, maybe it was the first day, but Reese was comfortable enough to have to sing and to have a camera crew in his bathroom in his shower.
Hmm.
You would think he'd be a little bit looser.
Well, yeah, and he was making jokes about the chickens and the eggs and comparing it to their infertility struggles.
Yeah.
And I
Ugh.
mean, yeah, I think we're just scratching the surface with him. I think he's going to escalate
Mhm.
as
Yes.
the season goes on. I mean, if this is him in episode 1,
Mhm.
you know, what is it going to be like? But
Yeah.
yeah, now so they have two they don't say that if they're twins. I assume they're
But I
twins. They
think
have two little
yeah.
babies.
Yeah. I have to believe they're twins cuz I mean, obviously this is one of the reasons why they're right their big motivation is they want to have a big family. And
Mhm.
Billie Jean can't I guess she can't use her own eggs. So a friend donated an egg
Mhm.
and then she carried the babies. Billie Jean did. So, and
Mhm.
I can understand that. IVF is expensive, and I'm sure it was a lot of money to do all of this. And I mean, the friend donating the egg, I'm sure they got that for free. So I get that, but there's this other part of me that's a little bit like, I understand you want a big family and you want these things, but you know, there are other ways to be. Like people get so fixated on what they think their life should be or how they think their life should be and versus yeah, you need to have a forward momentum and a goal, but sometimes you just need to let life unfold.
Right.
And
And
maybe you just should have only 2 kids. I don't know.
I don't know, and where yeah, and then this starts to feel transactional because based upon
Mhm.
what she's saying, it's like basically they're looking for a free egg donor
Yeah.
and a childcare provider.
Mhm. Yes. And
And
maybe
it
a
just
friend.
feels and maybe a friend, hopefully a friend, but they don't wanna live with them. They wanna they want this person to live, because they have this property where I think they
Mhm.
have multiple, homes or structure, or
Or they wanna build on.
they wanna have a compound. So,
Coyote Pass, yeah.
yes, Billie Jean does not wanna live with the egg donor.
Mhm.
She still wants to have her own little life over here with Reese. But
Mhm.
again, okay, that's not really true polygamy, is it? Like, aren't you all
Mhm.
supposed to live together? But as we've learned, a lot of these people don't.
Well, I don't know if you necessarily need to live together, but there needs to be some sort of like we're all right from what we've learned with sister wives when someone comes into your family it's really about like how is this person going to integrate, how are they going to be versus this how will this person fit into the family structure and how do we
Mhm.
work together. This really does feel like we want more kids and we want a babysitter.
We need something, right.
We
It's
need
like it's
yeah.
not the individual. like falling
Yeah.
in love with the individual, and then they come in and you share your life, and what happens happens. It's very much like, yeah, we're looking for an egg donor and a babysitter.
Mhm.
That's what it feels
Yeah.
like, especially when they want the person to live in a different house.
Yeah, but
So,
I don't think they have the houses yet. I think this person is gonna be living with them.
yeah,
So
they haven't built anything yet. That's just their plan.
but then we
Um,
learned that, Reese is not hypersexual. He's a bit vanilla. So the
oh,
sense I get
shocking.
is I don't think Reese likes I just don't think Reese has a big sex drive.
Or now he claims he's not gay. He claims that I think that was one of the first things that Billie Jean's dad said was like,
Yeah,
"You
yeah, I
sure he's
assumed
not
he
gay?"
was gay. I mean,
Yeah,
I
and
thought that the
everybody
first
all the viewers were all going to assume that.
Mhm.
So okay, but when they ask him, okay, well, what kind of women do you like? He's
Oh
like,
god.
oh, I like all kinds of women, anything, and he starts naming women who are all black women, and
Yeah, is
he's
Halle
like,
Berry, Oprah,
Oprah, Michelle
Michelle Obama.
Obama, like Vivica A. Fox. I mean, he doesn't he can't even be creative. It's like,
Mhm.
Oprah? Like, Oprah's like 70 years old. I love Oprah. Okay, but I mean, come on, Reese. It's like,
You don't think Reese
that's
is pining for an Oprah?
the best you can come up with, Oprah and Michelle Obama, and
Well, Berry's hot. I mean,
she
she's beautiful,
is. Okay, of course. I mean, all these women are but it
but
was
it
just
was
like, we're gonna take
hilarious.
the most famous, the most kind of, off the tip of your no
Yeah.
originality. Okay. No originality.
Well, and he also, I think, almost kind of his mind maybe got trapped a little bit because I think maybe he started with Halle Berry and then he's like, Oprah, and then Michelle Obama, and then as you kept going, I was like, "Oh, he keeps naming black women, like
Yeah.
Vivica A. Fox." I'm like, "Oh, these are all black women." Like, it's almost like he got stuck in this, like, associating like Oprah, Michelle Obama, like how you go, Michelle Obama makes me think of this. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know. I don't know how much I buy that, but okay.
Yeah, but then what do you think? I guess so. This is the other part of it too. Is does Billie Jean just want? I guess she doesn't she seems to be okay with her sex life with Reese.
Mhm.
So do you think that for her it's just like, yeah, I just want to have babies. I just
Yeah.
want babies. I just want lots and lots of
Yeah.
babies and I don't care, this I like him, he's supportive. I just
Yeah.
need someone who can have
He's
babies.
comfortable, he's safe, he's supportive. I think Billie Jean wants to be like Earth Mama. I want a bunch
Mhm.
of kids, but of course I'm going to need childcare. I'm going to need help with these kids. Can't do this all myself. And I want to live off the land, and I want to have chickens and grow
Mhm.
a vegetable garden and have a compound.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, she wants
mean,
ballerina farms. I think she
yeah.
wants to be one of those like trad wife. Oh my god. Do you think she wants to be a trad wife influencer and she thinks like this is
Oh.
her jumping off point?
Oh, well, I wouldn't
Mm,
put it past anybody.
very interesting.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so Reese and Billie Jean are meeting up with Kayla, one of Reese's
Mhm.
closest friends, like a sister, and they were also in show
From
choir
show
together.
choir, yes.
So what is show choir? Does that mean like you're in a choir
It's
and
a
you just sing show tunes?
musicals. Well, you're putting on musicals, and so, there's always, like, at least when I was in high school, I never tried out for any of this, but this is what I observed, was that they'd put on a musical, and, if you tried out, you'd pretty much get into the choir, the chorus,
Mhm.
whatever they called it, who sang, like, the backup for all the
Yeah.
tunes, and then you had your stars who played the leading characters. And so everyone got to sing the show tunes, but then you had the stars. So I
Okay.
don't know. That's how it was in my high school. It was not a big thing in rural Northern California. But,
We didn't have show choir in Berkeley. I was in all the plays. I mean, but you had to audition, you know.
yeah.
So,
I think
anywho,
it's musicals. It's Pirates of
yeah,
Penzance, it's whatever.
yeah. So Reese is wearing his slippers. Um, And then we go into this whole thing about how people always assume he's gay.
Mhm.
And, Billie Jean's father first thought he was gay. And, it's very, I have a lot of mixed feelings about this because it's certainly not our place to out Reese. If he
Mhm.
says he is straight, okay, that's what you got to believe. But and he made this comment of, "Hey, I know myself. If I was gay, I would know. I wouldn't hide it, but I just like boobies too much." First
Yeah.
off, the word boobies,
What
that
straight
is not
guy
a
says
what's
that?
yeah,
No.
and they don't even say that's not that at
They'd
all.
say tits.
Yeah. But the other part too is I had this friend in LA who, again, everyone thought he was gay. I heard about him dating women. We'd all be like, no, he's straight. He's straight. He's now in Miami and he's gay. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if necessarily, I don't know how old Reese is, but not everyone comes out
Mhm.
early. It is very, very possible. And so this whole argument of, well, I would have known by now, or I would have announced it by now. It's like, maybe not.
No.
No. And maybe the idea of, I don't know what town this is. I don't know if it's like it's not maybe parents, not acceptable. I don't know what the
Yeah.
situation
If you're
is, but if he's been indoctrinated with a lot of fear around it, then I would think it's pretty easy to convince yourself like I like sex enough with this woman and we can build a life together.
right. I mean, look, if you're from this town, population 312
Mhm.
in, agricultural Indiana, like that your whole entire life you have been this has been suppressed for you
Mhm.
and might not even be safe to come out. Like
Yeah.
it's yeah, I mean the jury's still out. Like
Yes.
the jury's still out on a lot of us, not me, but you know like oh
Well, you
maybe
don't know,
me,
Brooke,
I
but
don't
hold
know,
on. It
god.
could be
I could
you.
be a late in life lesbian.
You could meet a woman that you really like.
That's
It
true.
could
That's
happen.
true.
Listen, it's like, hey, man, as
Yeah,
the
no,
Gen
no.
Zs have taught us, sexuality is fluid. We don't need to have all these labels.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, yeah, well, I'm sure yeah, it's difficult to talk about to talk about Reese.
I'm sorry. All of it. All of it. Like his
Yeah.
reactions to things, all of it. And at one point, both Kayla and Billie Jean say, "Yeah, you're pretty flamboyant." And he was
Mhm.
bothered. I thought that was interesting
Mhm.
because he liked being the showman, being called, crazy or this or that or dramatic, but flamboyant bugged him.
Yeah.
So, well, do you want to talk a little bit about him hitting on this waitress?
Um yeah. Well, again, here he is. He's trying to prove his manhood. He's
Hmm.
trying to prove that he's attracted to women and he's flirting with this pretty waitress and then he again, this is not I think whatever. He touches her.
Yes, I noticed. Yes, that
He
was weird.
touches her. Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
And again, I think that he read in some magazine because it's very, very right. Like when you're out at a bar and you're talking to someone, right? Like if a woman touches you, you find a reason to touch. But like you've been talking for a while, there's some chemistry there. There's like a connection. And then you might touch the person's arm or something. But this was really like he just,
Yeah,
kind of
she's a
like grabbed her
waitress.
shoulder.
It's not a bar. It's not like some
Yeah.
woman approached you at a bar and started talking to you. You are there with your wife and your friend to have dinner and he's trying to make, ordering dinner some sort of a sexual
Yeah.
experience. Like he is trying to prove his sexuality, his masculine sexuality.
Hmm.
Um
But
yeah, it's weird.
even the phrases he uses, he's not like, okay, I'm gonna practice, my dating skills. It was more of like, I'm gonna make the waitress blush. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like, what are you gonna say that's
Mhm.
gonna it was just the words that he uses are odd. It feels very tame, very, I'm gonna make her
Because
blush.
because this isn't his thing. This is not what he
Mhm.
does. He's not like a guy never in his life has he gone to a bar to like, pick up a woman.
Mhm.
Ever in
Uh,
his life, okay? I guarantee you that. He's never dated women. I I'm pretty sure that like he and Billie Jean, hooked up at some
mhm.
point after high school or whatever. In between that time, I don't think he dated women.
Yeah, I think because Kayla said this. She said he was a late
Mhm.
bloomer and that it took
Yeah,
Reese a
very
while to
late.
find Billie Jean. And so that's when I was like, oh, I wonder if maybe he didn't really date at all. And yeah, and he
Mhm.
was comfortable with Billie Jean. They knew each other. They'd hooked up before and, okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Um so
Yeah. So
I
that's
don't
them.
know. That's them. We'll see. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens. My
We'll see
gosh.
how Reese is dating, how it goes.
Yeah.
All
Okay. So
all right. Whew.
who's next?
Let's do the Peralta family. And they're in Bristol, Connecticut. I wish I knew their ages. I need to like understand their ages and where they are in their life.
Mhm.
But this is Danny and Yesel. And
Mhm.
Danny, I believe, based on what we've learned, I want to say she's 28, 27, 28. I think she's under 30. I think
Yeah,
she's
she
very
doesn't.
young.
I think she is very young.
So,
He's a bit older because when he met her, he had two kids from two prior relationships. We meet
mhm.
one of the mothers of his one of his kids, but yeah, no, he's definitely. I'd say he's got a good 10 years on her, 8 to 10
Yeah.
years.
And I found Yesel to be, I don't know. I
Gross.
don't I don't trust Yesel as far as I can throw him. I don't
No,
I don't like how he talks about things. I think he's shady. I think the
like he's
ex.
violent.
Oh, you think he's violent? See, I was writing a bunch of notes. I wasn't really watching the self-defense. Did something happen in that? They take us.
Well,
So we see them. They go to a self-defense class, the two of them, and
I find him very menacing. I mean, I don't know.
mm,
I've only seen like one episode here, but the way that he at the so they met at a wedding, and it was so they had this immediate sexual connection,
hmm
and he ended up biting her, and
yeah,
then they went home together. And then just the way that they sort of aggressively work out and they do their self-defense, he kind of scares me. Like,
mm.
and he's got this he's very vague about what he does, like, that so
Yes,
he's gone for
yes.
months at a time,
What do
and
you?
again,
Yeah,
Danny needs a friend because she's home
yes,
alone, and she needs help parenting because he's gone for months at a time. Well, where are you going for months at a
yeah.
time? What are you doing?
Yeah. What job? I
Explain.
mean, there, I don't know a job where either you're going to travel a lot internationally. So maybe once a month you're gone for 5, 6 days, or
Or
every
you're
other
out
month
to
you're gone.
sea or something, I
Yeah.
don't know, you work on a ship,
But,
I mean.
but what does one do? I would love to know what he does. What does one do where you have to travel internationally from 1, maybe 2, 3 months. So that's big range. 1 month is very
Mhm.
different than 3 months. And yeah, but the other thing I want to go back to, you got to love Danny where she only went to this weddings because of the s'mores bar. I mean, and I think that's the other thing too. I think that shows you how young she is. She's
Yeah.
22. She's 22. She is like, "Oh, I'm going to go this, and I'm going to mess up some s'mores."
Yeah.
And that's the headspace she's in when she goes. And then they show us all these pictures of them together. It's a lot of Yesel licking her. Like his
Yes.
tongue out, licking her. It doesn't feel comfortable. I'm not
It's not
comfortable.
comfortable. And I
Yeah.
bet and I feel like I can just see it in his face and his eyes. When he gets mad, he gets mad. And I
Mm.
think he gets violent. I don't know, there's something about him that
Mhm.
makes me really uncomfortable. Like I look at him and I'm just like, "Oh god."
Yeah,
Like,
the other thing is these kids, I mean, again, he usually when you hear about a couple getting together and they have kids from another relationship, usually those kids are like, 10, 12. They're a bit older. These kids, is it Jelena and Brady? Did I get that right? Or
I didn't write
Bradley?
down their name.
They seemed very young too. So that's the other
So
thing
they have
too, which
2
is
kids. You're talking about their 2 kids together or
no,
the
their two kids together are very young. But the
Uh-huh.
two children that he has from other relationships, they seem very young.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. When we meet his ex later on, we learn like it really was. He breaks up with her, and I don't know how long he's single until he's in this new
Mhm.
relationship. So to me, it just means like it's we see this a lot where someone has a kid very, very young and then they, start having kids again because they meet someone. But this is a little bit of, whoa, you have two children from two different women. You just are ending this relationship. And your first thing is, well, let me get into this relationship with the 22-year-old. It's just a little bit, it tells you something about him, I think, personally.
Yeah.
So, and on top of that, Danny works full time. So when he's gone on his
Yeah.
international trips, she's working full time, taking care of, if she's just taking, she might just sometimes be taking care of the youngest two. But I don't know what the custody situation is. Or do the
Mhm.
older kids come? And is she required, does she take care of them even though he's out of the
Yeah.
country? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know because you think you'd wanna have the siblings be able to see each other
Yeah. Yeah.
but I
So
don't
then
know.
four kids and a full-time job. Yeah. Danny needs help. She didn't need a sister wife.
Yeah, why can't they hire a nanny? Like, why
B
do
because Yesel wants to have sex with other women.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yesel
and he
Yesel
doesn't wanna pay for a nanny.
yeah, Yesel sees this as a win-win. Listen, he put together a PowerPoint presentation to get her to do it. That
Yeah.
how all the things that they need, all the pros and cons of becoming polygamous. And I think again, that's why I think her age is important to recognize. Like she met him at 22. That's still very young. He obviously has a lot of influence on her. They've been married almost 5 years, so maybe they've been together 6, 7. I don't know. There's a big power imbalance between the two of
Mhm.
them, and it
Absolutely.
feels a little bit like she's being bullied into it.
Yeah, and she doesn't look, she clearly doesn't want this polygamy thing, but she does get lonely when he's gone and she does need help
Hmm.
when he's gone. So she again,
Yes.
we talked about this I think on a previous episode just recently within the past week. I can't remember what it was, but that whole kind of like polyamory by force,
Mhm, mhm.
where
Yes,
you're
yes.
kind of forced into the situation because one person wants it and you don't really want it, but you kind of if you want to stay in that relationship and then you have to do it and pretend
Mhm.
that it's okay. And that's what I
Yeah,
feel like she's doing here.
yeah. Well, we learned very quickly at the self-defense place, very quickly
Mhm.
that Yesel he's just been looking in the apps, kinda like,
Yeah.
looking around, and Danny is shocked.
Yeah.
And,
Not happy.
yeah. And this is what I wonder. I wonder if she has caught him on the apps, maybe quote unquote looking around. People find partners on the apps all the time, or some friend saw him on an app and said, "Hey, I wonder if Yesel, this is a common thing for him to be on these
Mhm.
apps and looking,
I
and
think so
that's
cuz didn't he
why she's
date
so
some
yeah,
Yeah, didn't he date someone like without telling her just to kind of feel it out, like some girl from high school? He
yeah,
wanted
yeah."
her to test her out, see if maybe she could come in. But it didn't go well, but like yeah, he did that behind her back, right?
Well, I think it all happened. She kept saying, "I don't want to be left behind. I don't want to be left behind." I think what happened, my guess would be is I think that he proposed this idea. Then maybe the next day he's like, "Hey, what about my friend from high school?" And then it's like, "Oh, hey, she's going to come on over. I'm going to hang out with her a little bit." I mean, uh,
Mhm.
I'm wondering if the two of them were like already talking on Facebook, on Facebook
Oh, of
back and forth and
course.
reunited, and this was his way in. But obviously Danny did not feel comfortable with this. And she felt like the third wheel, and
Yeah. Well,
she
these
felt
people
left
already
behind.
have yeah, they already have a pre-existing relationship. So it's not
Mhm.
like you're meeting the person together and starting from the same place.
Yeah. And
But yeah,
yeah.
I'm kind of perplexed by Leah, who's the mother of Yessel's son,
Mhm.
because she and Danny are like BFFs, and they kind of seem like the same person, and so it's like, okay, Leah's concerned about a third wife, Danny's concerned about a third wife,
Mhm.
tells her she doesn't want to do this. Um, so yeah, this is wild. It just feels like they're forcing her or something. He's
Yeah. I
forcing her.
think I think she Leah has Yessel's number. Leah's been
Mhm.
through this with Yessel. The looking on apps, the
Right.
he might have even floated this
Oh,
idea to
totally.
her at some point.
Totally.
So Leah knows, but at the same time, she's like, well, there's a TV camera here, and this is my friend,
Mhm.
or maybe she's tried to broach the subject in the past and Danny shut her off. And so she just feels like, well, I'm just going to be a supportive friend and I can relate to her because it really felt like Leah was asking all the right questions. Like
Mhm.
Leah kind of knew where the downfalls were. And they talk about this too since that time with the high school friend, Danny said, I don't want to keep testing this relationship. We're in a rebuilding
Mhm.
phase. So they're not even in a good place
Mm-mm.
from that whole situation. But the one thing that Danny said that I thought was interesting, she's like, I want to be present if he's going to be window shopping. It's like,
Mm.
so
Yes,
yeah,
interesting term.
yeah. So we learned that Danny wants to meet the woman first before Yesel, which I think is a good idea. Um, but again, I think you need to listen to Leah more because I think Leah does not think this is going to work.
No,
So
nobody thinks this is gonna work. No one in America thinks this is gonna work.
all right. Well, the jury's out on Yesel. I did not get that, but
Yes.
I really kind of felt like this guy likes to cheat and he likes to find loopholes to cheat,
Yeah,
you
well,
know?
he scares me. I don't know. It doesn't seem very
Well, yeah.
endearing, let's just say that.
Yeah. And what's this international work that you're doing?
Yes.
That I want to know
Internet.
too. And how
He
old are
works
you?
internationally. What the fuck does that mean? Okay. All
All
right.
right.
So
This is what
now this is
everyone's been
very
waiting for.
it's very exciting. The Merrifields.
Oh, Lord.
Um uh our Seeking Sister Wives favorite couple. Although I prefer the Davises, they're not so I don't know what the word is. Cringy or
Oh,
something. Um
Garrick has we'll get there. Garrick has a lot of ideas and theories about things. And I just, that's why they're gold because just when you're like, oh, okay, that, it feels like, oh, and then Garrick says something and you're like, right back, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. These people are nuts.
Yeah. So we kind of recap their history.
Mm-hmm.
In the last 6 years, they've had two prospective wives leave them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Roberta was the first one. That lasted 3.5 years, and they spent tens of thousands of dollars on her.
Oh yeah, I mean this really feels kind of like the long con. I wonder how much because she broke up with them the minute they transferred her a big sum of money. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
how much money did you guys all send her that made her like this is what she'd been working towards for 3.5 years?
Oh, I'm gonna guess between giving the money they gave to her directly, I would say is at least 25 or 30,000.
Does
And
that
then the
include
money
the big money at
no,
the end? Like the
mm,
money that they sent her to kind of help clean up things
it
so
was
she can
supposed to
come
be
to the
for her
US?
mother. Okay, so let's bump it up to
Yeah.
50. So over 3.5 years, yeah, they were giving her money, paying for stuff, and then she claims my understanding is they got the K-1 visa for her, and they kept saying, "Well,
Mhm.
when are you coming? When are you coming?" And she's like, "Well, I have to square away some stuff with my mom and make sure she's okay." And so they were giving her this money, to get her mom set up, and that's
Mhm.
when she got that payment, she dumped them. So, probably $50,000 for that, and then at least. And then when you think about all the vacations they went on to meet her in Mexico so they could see her, the
Mhm.
cost of getting the K-1 visa, um, all of that, all told, they spent at least 100 grand.
Oh, I can believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, at least.
And I had never, because I wasn't watching the show then, I had never seen that video of Danielle's reaction to learning that Roberta wasn't gonna come. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
that
where
was, like,
she
deep
had a
pain.
meltdown.
I mean, that was wow.
But
I mean,
was it
that
was
was, like
was that real? Do you really think that was real? I mean,
I don't
it seems
know.
like a
Do you
lot of
feel like but
fakery,
well,
you
do you think she
know?
was doing it to be performative?
Yes.
Or what I wonder is I think that the only way Danielle's been able to even endure any of this is she's had to almost, like, drink the Kool-Aid with Garrick
Uh-huh.
and believing, and I think that even though she wasn't really in love with Roberta, I think she felt like she was in love with her. And I think
Well, I think
it's the symbol of, "Oh, this is my," I don't know, I don't
well,
know.
again, it's the best friend thing, and this is part of Garrick's con, is that in order
Mhm,
to get Danielle to go along with this, he has to sell her that she's getting something out of it. She's getting a best friend and a sister. And you know how they always call each other sister? At
mhm,
least she and Roberta did. I
yeah.
can't
She
remember if
did
she
with,
and
Natalia
Natalia
a
is
little
so it's
bit.
like this is my sister, and so Danielle has to feel important and almost like this is for her, and what Garrick's
Yeah,
doing is just like on the side. It's just
yeah.
so,
That's a good way
like
of
she's
saying
the
it.
main focus. And yeah, and you can tell like even when every time they would go to visit one of these women, like when they saw each other, it was always like Danielle and Roberta hugging and embracing first, and Danielle and
Mhm,
Natalia, like she had to be the center of this. That was the only way it was palatable to her. Um, so much manipulation by
yeah.
Garrick to get her to go. And I'm starting to really feel sorry for Danielle because if you notice Danielle's facial expressions, like she comes on and she's smiling and talking about whoever it is, the woman of the moment, whoever their prospective sister wife is, and she's talking in these glowing terms and everything's this is wonderful. And then Garrick starts talking, and then she kind of looks at him, and then her face literally changes.
Mhm,
Like the expression on her face completely changes, and she looks like uncomfortable, sometimes looks kind of mortified.
mhm.
She can only act so much and to a certain point, and then her face just gives it away.
Well, I did you notice they show us a wedding picture of her and Garrick from a long time
Mhm.
ago? Garrick, I could pick out of a crowd easily. Her, I was like, if you told me this was the same person, I wouldn't believe you. I mean, she looks
Mhm.
so different. So there's this other part of it too of like, what's going on for you? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, what is happening here? Um,
It's
but
it's
yeah,
years and years of living with Garrick and his
yeah, yeah.
bullshit.
And so it's like, God, has that aged you oddly? Has that created something for you? It's like, I don't know. She just doesn't, she doesn't, that young person doesn't look like who
Well,
she is
because
anymore.
she
She's
to
still
me,
young, she's obviously attractive. It's not that. It's
right.
just more of,
No,
there's a
she looks
disconnect.
stressed. Yes, she looks stressed, uncomfortable, unhappy, and then this is a total act she's putting on for Garrick, who
Mm.
she just idolizes for some reason and will do anything more. So
Well,
y-
and they're very religious, right? So I think he
yes.
spouts these Bible things. They talk about this, like polygamy is in the Bible. And it's like, we got to justify, justify,
Oh yeah.
justify.
She believes we'll get to this. That she believes
Okay.
every cockamamie idea that he has. Okay, so after Roberta, they kind of floundered for a little bit. There were a few in between people, but then the next big one was Natalia, who was just last season.
Hmm.
And Natalia was more, I don't think she was necessarily conning them for money, although I'm sure they gave her a lot of
Mhm.
money. But she quickly found out she didn't really trust them from the
Mhm.
beginning, and then some things happened where she was like, "Oh, no, no, no," because she thought that she and Garrick had that wedding in Brazil that wasn't legal. Because remember, the government of Brazil would not approve it
Oh,
because
that's right. That's
they
right.
they they were like, "No, this guy is a scammer."
Mhm.
They've seen the show. Someone sent them a
That's right.
copy
I
of the
forgot
show.
about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so they did a fake marriage in Brazil, and then she was supposed to come over on a spousal visa, which is different than the K-1 visa, and, she found out that because Garrick had lied to her and said, "Oh, no, you're gonna be the last sister wife, just gonna be Danielle and you," and
Mhm.
then she found out that wasn't true, that he was on the apps,
Mhm.
he was still looking for other people, and she was not gonna be the last one, and so she
Yeah.
dumped them.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of focus on this person. Like, why do you need to be on the apps? You need to be looking. That's where it feels like this isn't about creating connections. This is about volume,
Mm-mm.
you
Yeah,
know?
it's a numbers game, like, the more people I mean, I don't how many wives does he want? I don't understand, but, this is his last chance because, of something called the, International Marriage Brokers Re so the International Marriage Brokers something I can't read my own writing, something act, and this was enacted to try to crack down on sex trafficking
Mhm.
and people bringing people from other countries.
Yeah.
There is now a limit on how many K-1 visas you can get as an American citizen. So an American
Really.
citizen can only get 2 visas for different people. They have to be 2 visas, 2 different people
Mhm.
in there. This is a lifetime maximum. Um, and if you apply for more than that, you have to apply for a waiver, which is extremely hard to get. Okay.
Mhm.
So this is Garrick's second.
'Cause was
Um,
Roberta the first?
Roberta was first. And it doesn't matter if the marriage happens or not. It's
'Cause
just the
they started the
application.
90-day countdown, and that's
Well,
why
no,
they were trying to wait for Roberta to come out.
no, he got the visa. So remember, the 90 days starts once you get to the U.S.
Oh,
And
okay.
so she never made it to the US. But
Mhm.
he got the visa, I believe. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he had the visa for her because remember they were pressuring her to just,
Mhm.
get on a plane, come on, you got your visa, you can come. She had no intentions of going. She's like putting them off. But so there's one,
Mhm.
and now he has applied for another one for
Yeah.
this new woman. I've already forgotten her name.
Lorena.
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 So now Lorena is here in the US on a K-1 visa. So if this doesn't work out, he's not getting any more K-1 visas.
Yeah. Well, and there's also we talked about this when we covered the show last season. There's also a little bit of like, why do you need to keep going outside of the country? And also, why do you need to go to Brazil?
Yeah,
I mean, it
specifically.
feels very specific. It feels
Yeah.
very like this is what I
It's a
want.
fetish.
Yeah. And
It's a
it's
fetish.
the other thing too is well, Lorena, they're all nervous because they're driving to the airport to pick her up and they're both their bodies are on fire. They're just, so nervous and excited for Lorena to come. And she gets off the plane and she's very beautiful. She's
Mhm.
really a
Of
young.
course. These women always are.
Yeah,
This
yeah. They've all, I mean, they've all, I don't know Roberta well, but like, yeah, Natalia was beautiful. She's very beautiful. And she and Danielle hug. They have this very long hug.
and she goes
And
straight to Danielle. You notice that?
yeah,
She
she,
bypasses Garrick. She goes straight to she knows where her bread is buttered,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
So, and I got the sense it was funny because I got the sense that she likes Garrick, like she's not like ooh gross. But then um you know, he talks about how we've had a lot of deep heartfelt serious conversations and we've really pondered a lot of, serious questions and things. I'm like, how do you do that with someone who doesn't speak the same
Yeah,
language?
with over
I
the
just
translator app.
so how do you connect and bond to a translator app?
You don't.
And I know even if you're there in person, people are always talking about like, but it's different when the words come out of that person's mouth. It's like,
Well, yeah, because it's just like texting. Things get
mm-hmm,
lost in texts, there's
mm-hmm,
inflections and also in 6 years of dating exclusively Brazilian women, Garrick has not bothered to learn Portuguese.
yeah,
Um,
not a lick.
so he can talk to he
Yeah,
doesn't want to talk to these women. That is
no.
not what he is interested in. He wants to have sex with these women and have like a little harem.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
Doesn't want to
think that
talk to
he
him.
he wants to have sex with a lot of women, and he also wants to be a family, and I think that he also, he wants to be a good servant of God, and that doesn't, I guess, for him, just dating people and going and
Mhm.
living your life and just having lots of relationships, that doesn't work. It's just interesting. A lot of so much of this stuff gets wrapped up in this like larger piece of how you believe you should be living, or whatever judgment you think from the world, of being single, or um what was that first couple being gay, any of those
Mhm.
things,
Mhm.
that you then go to this extreme place of like bringing someone from another country into your like,
Mhm.
right, and children are born, and I mean,
Yeah, no, this is yeah,
it's
serious.
just, yeah. But
Well, but God, just like God speaks to Garrick in the garage,
mhm.
God spoke to Lorena and
Uh-huh.
told her that she would fall in love with someone from another country.
Yeah, she would not fall in love with a Brazilian man.
Yes.
So, but hands down, this is the best thing that Garrick said, and the best part of the entire show. So Garrick then starts to explain to us about biology or physiology, or
He's so knowledgeable about that.
about, and especially about how women work.
Mhm.
So he said that after women have had 5 partners, they can't bond anymore. So after you've had 5 male partners, and I don't know if that means relationships or just partners, period.
Sexual
You
partners
okay?
because it's
So
it's the sperm.
yeah, so that I guess it's the amount of sperm that's been inside of you, slowly, slowly, slowly makes it harder and harder for you to bond with a partner. And as insane and funny as this is the most insulting comment you can ever, I mean, it was just disgusting. Because what you're really saying is a woman who has too many sexual partners is broken. If you've had even 5 relationships that haven't worked out, you're damaged goods. And then, this sperm, I mean, it's almost as if,
Sperm in the brain?
yes,
That's what he
it's
said.
like,
The sperm, and Danielle even says it. She's the one who said it. She's like, it's the sperm. It goes into the brain. And he said that, I believe, last season or 2 seasons.
mhm.
He said this
Oh, he
before.
said this before. Okay, this is the
Yes.
first time I've heard it. It's shocking.
Yes. No, he said this before in a prior season about the sperm getting into the brain, and then a
Mm.
woman is just that's it,
And
ruined.
again, right, because women were so doi doi doi, or were so enamored by
Yeah, yeah,
men.
you can't bond anymore.
Yeah. And
Can't
so,
bond after, 5 people's sperm enters your brain.
and then what I just kept thinking was, well, what if you used a condom with all of these people? There would be no sperm
Mm,
inside of you,
yeah,
right? So
true.
you're making a lot of big, what about that person? But again, it's
It's
so
just so
stupid
fucking ridiculous.
and so ridiculous, but I hate him shaming. I mean, again, shaming women for having sex, shaming women for being sexual, but also saying to women, you are broken. There is something wrong with you.
But he can bang as many
Yeah.
hot Brazilian women as he wants to, and there's just no consequences.
Mhm.
And what about the sperm you're putting into their brain? And then,
What
you break up. Like, then what? Does that, like, Do you have no
Well,
part of that? You have no responsibility for that, or
the other thing too is, what about gay men? Does it affect men?
well, he's not no. This is only women. This is only women are capable of being, corrupted by sperm. Only they can get sperm on the brain and just fucking lose their mind. That's the thing. Men, they think they really do think that they are so fucking almighty and all
Ugh,
powerful that their
they do.
sperm is gonna fucking break us down.
No, I think about this
Oh,
all the time
fuck
of how
off.
many, because I deal with so many men all the time, and it's like, you know, I love how they feel like they need to, like blow smoke up your ass, like, oh, you're such a great interviewer, your podcast, blah blah blah. I saw your TED talk, you're so great. It's like, I'm not a man. I don't need to be fluffed all the time. I don't need you to praise me. I don't need that. But I think that's, we don't need all of that crapola. We really don't. We're so much stronger. So much stronger
Well,
mentally.
m some of us, not Danielle Merrifield could use a little,
Ugh, poor Danielle.
um,
Well, maybe Danielle and Lorena will
thinking.
team up and get rid of Garrick. That would be great.
That would be
Um,
nice.
Now, the other thing I noticed, so they then go into this whole story about Lorena. And then they go, well, 5 months after chatting with her, we met her in Jamaica.
Mhm.
And we were there for 5 days, baptized her. And then on the fifth day, Garrick proposes. Wow. Doesn't that sounds
Wow.
exactly like Natalia? That's exactly what
Mhm.
happened. I think they went to Mexico with
And
Natalia.
probably Roberta too.
And, Danielle was there and their kids. And, then they go through this rigmarole, they baptize her. And then on the last night, he's like, okay, it's time for me to propose every time.
Because then he can have sex with her. Because this came up last season
Oh, that's
where
right. That's right.
he basically says, as soon as he gets some premonition from God,
Mhm.
and then he proposes, and then that gives him the permission to then have sex. Then it's okay to
Mhm.
have sex. But
Mhm.
Garrick has got this whole thing figured out in his head, and he's always fast tracking everything.
Yeah.
He's got to fast track it to get to the point where it's going to be okay with God that he has sex with them. He's
Mhm.
so gross. He's a sexual predator. He
Yeah.
really is. And these poor Brazilian women. And the fact that he has this loyal wife who's, given him 3 children, and he just stands by and just like imposes this on her. It's really disturbing.
It is. Well, and it's that whole bait and switch thing. You marry someone and you're in a monogamous relationship and they just, one day spring
Yeah.
this on you. I think this is
God
how
spoke
all
to
these
me.
Danny's feeling, not Billie Jean, but I think this is how Danny's
Mhm.
feeling. It's unreal. It's
Yeah.
just unreal. And I don't, you know, to leave your husband with you have children. I mean, that's not an easy choice. So now you're putting this person in this horrible choice or decision, like stay with you and keep the family together, but indulge this desire of yours,
Mhm.
or I leave you. And
Right. Well, and never
it's
forget, Danielle divorced Garrick so he could
yes,
get these
yes.
K-1 visas, and she lied in court
Mhm.
about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Um, no,
And how
this
does
goes
God
deep.
how does that work with God?
Yeah, lying under oath. Did I
So is
tell you to
God
do
okay
that?
with that? Or God told Garrick that he's okay with he or she, whoever God is okay with it because he's doing it for this greater good.
Mhm. Because God told him to, so
Yeah.
God can't be mad about perjury. I mean,
Yes.
God. Well, okay, so now also these poor Lorena, she is, she's like, I'm going to America. What do
Mhm.
people think of when they think of America? They think of being in LA,
New
with
York.
movie stars in New York, Miami Beach, these exciting places. And as they leave Denver and they start driving
Mhm.
out, because I think that it's at least a couple hours from Denver, and
Mhm.
she's like, "Where are the houses?
Yeah.
Where are the bars? The beaches?" And this is where the title of the episode comes from, "You're no longer in Brazil, Dorothy. This is Buena Vista." And it's like, this is
Mhm.
hell. This is hell for her.
Yeah, I get the sense that she's kind of jumping into this, maybe part of it was like, wanting to get to the US or whatever it is, but I felt like there was a level of, you know, she likes Garrick, she wants to be part of this.
Mhm.
But her reaction to the just being out in the country,
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh, this isn't gonna be good." Like, I
No.
think she's gonna get stir crazy really quickly, and we saw this on 90 Day Fiancé.
Yeah.
All these again, thinking that they're gonna be in New
Natalie
York.
out in the Washington sticks with where our
Yeah, what is
aunt
that?
lived.
Weed or Weem
Uh,
or whatever.
Wenatchee, what, I don't know, starts with a
I think it was
W.
like a 4 letters. Sorry, we're not, I haven't watched 90 Day in a long time, so I'm not up on all of that stuff, but
Well,
yeah, and that's
that was old. But that's
every
a lot of
time.
them. It's a big culture
Yes,
shock. Because
yes.
usually the people who come from a foreign country, they come from a big city, like,
Mhm.
if she's in Brazil, she could be in Rio or Sao Paulo, or, like, S is Sao Paulo in Brazil, or is that somewhere else? I don't know. Anyway, they seem to always, like, wasn't Natalia in a big city? Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah, they all come from these big cities, and then they bring them over here to these small towns, and they're just like, "Oh my god, what's happening?"
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. They do show us scenes for I didn't write this down, but we see scenes for the rest of the season and it looks good. I mean, the Davises, there's a
Mhm.
woman in there
Oh,
that's,
they're always
they're trying to
interesting.
break some new woman's coming in and trying to break up the family. I mean, she seems like she's angling.
She wants Nick. Yeah. She
Yeah,
told
and
me
just
that
Nick.
she said that the first time we had sex, so, we already know that's all good.
The Davises
S
get right to it.
They
They're
get
not
yeah,
waiting for proposals
no,
or anything.
no. She said, "The first time we had sex, I knew I would never have sex with anyone else for the rest of my life." And she says she loves the way Nick smells. She loves how his body is so creamy. It's like, "Oh boy,
Yeah, it's a
there's
little
gonna be
stalkerish.
some sexual competition." And I think, Jenny, I know, is pregnant. I don't think she's had the baby yet, but she's pregnant with another girl. And so I don't know if she was pregnant during the filming of this and how
Mm,
that,
I
that
didn't
was.
notice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she didn't look. I don't know. I don't know what the status of that is. So I don't know, but that could be part of the storyline. No, this
Yeah.
Nick, God, how does he
I again,
get away
women
with
are
this?
just intrigued by him and all of this. And what's crazy about it is I believe Jen and April will fight to the death with this woman to keep
Oh,
Nick.
they worship him. They're not gonna let some bitch come in and like take Nick away. Are you kidding me?
I don't
Absolutely.
know. I don't know
This
what
woman
Nick
is
does, but it's something.
he must be good in bed. That's all
Yeah.
I can
Oh yeah.
think of. But yeah, this woman seems to be, I can't remember her name, but she seems to be the opposite of Danielle. Where
Mhm.
Danielle was like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, no, I want Nick. I am going after him. Um, Sorry, ladies.
Yes.
And then this other family,
Yes.
I didn't even write down their name, but there's two wives, and I can't
Oh,
remember,
that's right.
one
Yeah.
of them had some kind of a bombshell. Um,
Well, I think there's 2 wives, and they must be on the show because they're maybe obviously seeking another wife, but I think that we find out that one of the wives that is already in the relationship maybe is sleeping with someone else, like another man,
mm,
you
interesting.
know? So,
Yeah, well, I think
oh, this
she said
show.
something about wanting to bring someone else into the family, but yeah, it's probably not what you expect. It's not another
Mhm.
woman, it's another man, maybe. God, I
Yeah.
love this show.
I mean,
I've missed this show.
when I started this, I'm like, "Oh god, are we gonna be able to talk about this?" I mean, and then, oh boy, Reese just
We started out with a bang.
I don't know where they find these people, but they do. I
I know. Well,
don't know.
in the Merrifields and the Davises, they're content for days. I mean, we
Oh,
could just
yeah.
have just those two families and have the full hours worth of stuff. So it's gonna be a good season. It's gonna be
Yes,
fun.
it is. It is. So we're going to be covering Seeking Sister Wife this season, along with Sister Wives. So for right now, this is going to be our Thursday show, unless we're still trying to figure out some other things. Um, but so for right now, this is going to be our Thursday show. And if you are a fan of Sister Wives and you don't, you don't follow us regularly, then we have a Patreon where we have a weekly bonus, and then for the higher tier, you get a monthly true crime and an Ask Us Anything. And then this right now, we're currently doing a book club of Christine Brown Woolley's new book. And so if you are interested in that book, interested in our thoughts on it, go check it out. It's exclusively on Patreon on the $8 level. There are other ways to support us. If you enjoy us, please give us a 5-star rating and review. That always helps us so much. So if you haven't already, please, would love it if you could. Please follow us on social media, follow us on YouTube. We're on YouTube. And yeah, I think that's it. Right?
Yeah, and we're
Yes.
covering Sister Wives season 20
Yeah.
starting in a few days. So
We're
we have tons of Sister Wives coverage on our catalog, free catalog
yes.
as well. We have um we've been doing a recap from season 1 to we just finished season 9, and then we have, when did we start? Was it season 16 or somewhere around
17. It
there?
was 17
17?
because that was when Christine left Cody and
Yeah.
it was getting good.
I feel
And
like it
then
might have been 16 though. Anyway, we started 3 years ago. So the
mhm,
last 3 years of Sister Wives um are on there as well.
yeah.
So lots of content.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
tuning
everyone.
in. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.